Hey Babylonians, meet Bob, and Bob is going to be your SpacePunk driver for today as we take you through the game that is SpacePunks. Now, what makes Bob equipped to be able to take you on this journey for SpacePunks? Well, let's show you. He's equipped to be able to slash his way, to be able to shoot his way, to be able to create turrets and engineer his way through any kind of problem that comes into his path. He is the ultimate tool of destruction, but there are three others that you can choose from. We have Duke, the pilot school dropout that loves guns almost as much as he loves himself. We have Eris, who is a cyborg humanoid that also has control over nanobots and spikes. And lastly, we've got Finn, who is the smart animal type that loves to get into the heat of battle. We're not here to talk about those other three for this time being. We're here to talk about Bob, and Bob is going to be the best equipped to be able to take us through the beginning of what SpacePunks is all about and how to enjoy yourself in this game. So as you spawn in, you're greeted with this welcome mat and also this absolutely stunning world of all these purples and all these blues that are in the world. You'll also know there is a social hub, so there are plenty of other players walking around that are also playing the game. If you move forward from there, you've got Luke's Banya, which is where you're able to choose what character you want to play as. Now, we're going to be playing as Bob, but this also allows you to play as Duke, Eris, or Finn, and obviously you can see their skills on the right-hand side. It also shows the synergies, and we'll explain that a little bit more as we go into this video. But for now, we're going to stick with Bob. We're just going to be able to come out of that and then head over to our next place. Now, the next place will be Virgil, and Virgil is where you can pick up missions to be able to complete for extra fame, extra money, and extra rewards for like gear and all that kind of good stuff. From there, next to that is the Vault, which is where you're able to change your gear, and your gear crosses over between all the characters, and you can see what is currently equipped by which character and what kind of levels you also need to be able to have it equipped as well. It also has a materials tab as well, so when you pick those out in the world, that will also be for the crafting kind of side of things. Moving swiftly from there, we also have Cave 142, and this is also another mission giver, so you pick up those, you might as well pick all of them. You can pick up as many as you want all at the same time. You don't need to worry about just having the one active at the time. They've got the premium store, which is currently empty at the moment because it is early access, but rest assured that we'll have something coming very soon as this leaves early access. Next, you've got the skills and the talents tree, and this is where you're able to customize what your skills currently do, and you have this massive skill tree that's right in front of you, and it's going to be awesome. I'm curious to see how many talent points we can get from this game, and basically what kind of combinations are actually going to be the best one. A lot of them are currently just showing as work in progress, so we don't know the full extent of what these builds are going to be able to do, but it does make me very excited when you've got something as huge as that. You've also got the tasks, and I highly recommend as soon as you spawn in to be able to pick all these up. It looks like they are daily tasks, so pick up as many as you can, and those give you some very nice rewards. And lastly, you've got the relay, and the relay is basically where you select your missions. You basically choose which place on the planet you want to land, what kind of rewards. It also tells you what recommended power level you need to be, and it also allows you to change what kind of difficulty you want to do. The rewards are also kind of specified in some of them as to what kind of gear you can pick up, so things like shields, things like weapons, all that kind of good, so you can have select farming for what you're actually after. It also does have additional objectives, which you can see for like Double the Trouble, where Bob is in your team, so obviously we're going to get a nice little bonus out of that as well. And that is basically the starting world, so hope you've enjoyed the visit. But okay, Bob, tell me more. How does the combat kind of fare in this? Well, you do have your melee attack and you do have a ranged gun attack, and now most of these equipment can be changed and there are different kind of classes. So when it comes to melee, you have, for example, you have like a single sword, you have double swords, so they swing a little bit faster but do a little bit less damage. You've got a big massive mallet basically that swings slower but deals massive damage. You've got crit multipliers on every single version of damage that you're able to deal out. You've also got your guns, and they range from things like railguns to just shotguns to assault rifles, all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, it allows you to be able to customize your character to the best of your ability. Now, I will say that when me and Danwaz and Benzo played, we did find that the railguns were quite strong because they were able to pierce through multiple enemies and they dealt quite a lot of damage. The only downside is the fact you only get one shot, so just be mindful that if you miss, you're going to have to worry about a reload and then be able to fire another shot straight after that. Now, you also do have skills on top of that. Now, Bob is quite special in his special ability that he has a turret that he can deploy. Now, this generates aggro, so enemies will go after the turret and they will aim at the turret first before yourself, and it also deals quite a bit of damage. It is quite nice to be able to hold an area, so there are a few defend objective kind of options in this game, and you can just plonk the turret down and the turret will just do some work, and it is quite nice to be able to use that along with when you're using an assault rifle. Barely anything's going to be able to get anywhere near you. Now, the gameplay that you've got in the background is me using Bob for the first time on a hard difficulty, and that possibly wasn't the best solution and probably wasn't the best case. I do recommend that you go through normal just to be able to get a grip to how the game plays, get a bit of nice gear behind your back, get like a brand new weapon. I think the weapon is probably the most most important piece of gear that you can get from this, because you can actually do a lot of dodging in this game and you can avoid quite well. As you can see from Bob in the background, he's doing quite a good job of being able to destroy all these hordes of enemies in front of him, and most of the time he's not going to get hit, and that's quite good because Bob is not exactly the most healthiest or most tankiest of characters. Isn't that right, Bob? SpacePunks unique so far in my limited testing. We've only had a few hours of getting to grips with the game, and we are really enjoying it, and the synergy part of this is probably what makes it so unique to us. You've played games like Borderlands where everyone has an action skill, you've played Diablo where everyone has certain skills, but you've never played a game where the skills complement each other to the same extent that this does, and it's almost like you get a souped up version of your current skill as long as you have a specific teammate next to you. Now, you'll have noticed back at the character select screen that depending on what class you're picking, depends on what kind of synergy you can expect to have. So, for example, Duke, if he's got Bob or Finn on his team, his boom grenade will actually just send out the grenade as normal, but then it will follow up with a massive airstrike of rockets in its trail. That's the only one that I've seen currently so far, but there are plenty of other things. So, for example, Eris gets a better synergy bonus on her impaling skill when Duke and Bob is on her team and nearby, and Finn benefits from having Eris and Duke just basically on the team, but for two different skills. So Finn is possibly the better one to be able to benefit from their skills a little bit more, because they have the ability to have two skills increased in synergy just from having teammates nearby, but it essentially encourages you to play as a four-man team, to be able to have one of every single character and to be able to see all those synergies going at once. Now, you still can do work without the synergy. I would recommend that it's a bit harder to play as a solo character in this kind of respect, but it's also a bit harder if you decide to go lone wolf in a group as well, because obviously the enemies have got more spawns, more health, they're going to do more damage, and you're not getting the extra benefit from your skills. So highly recommend that you find yourself a good team of people, and then you stick with it. Choose one character each, and then make sure you stick together. And sticking together is the crucial part, because you'll notice at the bottom when you actually play in a group, I don't have any group play footage currently at this moment in time, but you'll notice that an icon appears below both of your characters, and that just signifies to show that you're within range and that your synergies are going to activate. So this is just a reminder to let you know that this game is in early access, and they do plan on having a lot of more new content and updates to come over the development period. It is an Epic Games exclusive for 12 months, but the game is scheduled to come out in winter 2021, so a little bit later on this year, so up to 5 months. You can get early access with purchases of the Founders Packs, and this will give you plenty of things like Battle Pass and cosmetics and all that good stuff, or through free keys which get given away through the SpacePunks socials or Discord server. So I'd highly recommend that you get yourselves over there and just keep an eye out and get yourself a chance to be able to win some. So massive thank you to Flying Wild Hog and Jagex for the ability to test this out and show all of you. I hope to see you all out there in the field. So that is the first look at SpacePunks, and like I said, we've had a great time with this game. It is definitely something we're going to keep picking up. It's definitely right up my alley. I love the RPG side of things. I also love the top-down kind of shooter. It also reminds me a lot of Diablo. So for all of you Borderlands and Diablo fans out there, this is basically the best kind of mashup that you're ever going to witness, and I think this does a really good job so far. I am very excited to see what kind of content comes out, and I'm also kind of curious to see how they're going to fit a kind of season pass that's into it as well. So honestly, had a great time. If you're interested, head yourself over to their socials, try and get yourself a free key. If not, pick it up from Epic Games Store, and hopefully we can organise some games. As always, hope you've enjoyed. If you did, drop us a like, drop a subscribe, it means the world to us, and keep yourself safe, keep yourself well. I'll see you all on that next video.